I'm going to do a reformer workout. I'm starting myself on 2 reds and a blue spring. Adjust based on your body's needs. If you need a little bit lighter, take one off. Need a little more, you can go three reds, depending on your setup. Again, I'm going to start with 2 reds and a blue, and your headrest can be up or down. I keep mine down. It does have to be down when we do bridges, otherwise it's whatever works for you. All right, so lay yourself down on your reformer. We're going to start with some footwork. So make sure you're not jammed up against the shoulder blocks. And then heels are on the foot bar with your legs about a fist distance apart. And then find your neutral pelvis. If you need to do a little imprint and release, to find it, that little pulling ribs and hips together, tightening the abs and lengthening back out. So finding your position where that tailbone sacrum is kind of heavy on the mat. Arms down by your side, either palms down or in to make your shoulders nice and open. Again, dorsiflex those feet or pull your toes towards your nose. Knees tracking over that second toe. Hold your feet still in space, and on your exhale, straighten your legs, lengthening out, and then resist the return. So engage those abdominals to stabilize your back and pelvis. So the abdominals should be working the whole time. Feel that lengthening and resisting. So no shoving out and in, but lengthen those legs and resist the return. Again, lengthen out and resist that return. So just in this parallel, heels on for 2 more. Breathing as you slowly press out and resist the way back in. We're going to stay in that parallel position, and we're going to go into the wrapped toes. So my feet are going to wrap over my foot bar from the balls of the feet, and my heels are going to go as low as I can. Keeping that neutral pelvis, pull those abs in, and then press out on your breath and resist the way in. As you press out, lengthen, feel those quadriceps activate, seat muscles activate, and then resist that way back in. Lengthen those legs and resist the way in. Breathe as you press out. Feel a little stretch in the Achilles, back of the heel ankle area as you pull in. You don't have to come back to your stopper each time. You find the range of motion that works for your hips and knees today. Pull that in, compressing those abdominals to stabilize. Pull that in. One more time. Lengthen it out and resist it in. All right. So now we're going to go to our high half toe, which I've nicknamed Barbie feet. So the ankles are lifted in that plantar flexed or high half toe position. And then holding big toe, little toe, even pressure, you're going to press out, keeping those ankles nice and steady, and resist it back in. Lengthen back out, resist it back in. Lengthen out, resist it in. Abs engaged to stabilize your back and pelvis. You should feel them working. Just draw in and stabilize. 3 more. 2 more. And then hold this last one out. Lower both heels. Feel the stretch. Lift both heels. So we're going to do that lower and lift, tendon stretch. Articulating through the feet and ankles, rising up to tippy toes, lowering down. Making sure that your ankles are not rolling out and locking at the top, but you're articulating through those feet. So the arch muscles are getting a little stretch, the calf muscles are getting a little stretch, and they all activate. Keep even pressure on big toe and little toe, or maybe 60-40 to the big toe. Last time, bend your knees, return to the stopper. Now we're going to go to our Pilates V. So your toes are just a little bit apart, your knees rotate out, but it's from the hip, and they should be within the frame of your shoulders, okay? So keep those heels kissing as you lengthen and zip those legs together, and then bring it back in. You have all 10 toes, if you can, in contact with that foot bar, and then you resist the way back in. Lengthen out with control, pull back in with control. You should feel these seat muscles activating. The inner thighs are drawing together. You feel like you have a little wrapping sensation going on in those thighs. And you're breathing and connecting your abs. Really stabilize that back and pelvis as you press out and return. 2. Last one. Bring it in with control. All right, we're gonna take our feet to the second position or that wider Pilates stance. So we're gonna rotate again. It's just a small rotation. My heels, I still have about 3 finger widths between big toes if they were together, and then I just open the width of them. So I have my heel cups right where the heel bone and arch kind of meet, so I feel nice and steady on there. My feet are gonna be in that dorsiflex or drawn back towards me position. Knees stay lined up with that second and third toe angle as we press out and resist it back in. Again, only bring that carriage back in as far as it feels okay on your hip and knee. Feel that lengthening sensation, controlling eccentrically on the way in, concentrically on the way out, or the lengthening of those muscles in and out. 3 more times, breathe, press out, and pull it in. Last time, bring it in. Okay, from here, go back to the parallel balls of the feet on, and bring your right leg to tabletop. If you can, extend it out on the diagonal line. You can switch to a different part of your foot if it feels better. We're gonna go parallel, so that train track position. And we're gonna press out and bend the gesture leg to tabletop. Keeping hips level and stable and not hiking up, and then press it out. And bring it back in. Press it out. Control it in. Takes a little bit more control with the single leg. 2 more if you can for me. Return to your stopper, put that foot back down. All right, so the other leg comes to tabletop, hips stay square, level, try not to hike or shift or shimmy, take both sits bones equally away from the edge of the carriage. And then we press out, and then you come in, reach that left leg long. Gesture leg to tabletop, gesture leg reaches. Bring it in, reach it out. Don't forget about those abdominals. Lengthen and return. Big toe, little toe, even on that foot bar, or maybe a little more to the big toe. Last 3, 2, 1. Bring it in and put that foot down. All right, if your headrest is up, please put it down so we can do some bridges. Make sure you're a couple inches away from the shoulder block, and then we're gonna press your hands down into the mat. And I'm gonna articulate a couple times, so that means the peeling or pelvic curling the bridge. So arches the heels on, think about pushing your feet down. That'll get you a little bit out of the hamstrings, so it'll help you activate there in the front side a little bit. So tighten up the belly, curl the pelvis towards you, and peel up bone by bone by bone, reaching knees over toes, making sure you stopped at the points of the shoulder blades. And then melt your spine down, vertebrae by vertebrae. And then lengthen back out. So feel like your spine is a strand of pearls. We're gonna press down with the arms a little bit. Don't let the carriage go anywhere. As you peel your spine up, articulating pearl by pearl to the points of your shoulder blades. Breathe in, and then melt it down with control. All right, we're gonna go there one more time, and then we are gonna move the carriage if you're up for it. So a little pelvic curl, peel your spine up, knees over toes, long line from your shoulders to your knees. Keep those abs compressing, the backside is working. Now, press your carriage out, pull it in. 4 more times, find the range that you can control, your bridge stays still. Bending and straightening at the knee joint. Knees over toes, press out, come back to your stopper, and lower your hips back down. All right, very good. So from here, I'm gonna roll to my side and climb up for a moment to take the spring tension down. So I'm gonna stay on a red and a blue. It's a little nicer. 2 reds is a little heavier, so red and blue will be a little nicer on your shoulder, still working your core. Lay yourself back down. And then you're gonna grab your straps. So you can put that headrest back up if you prefer it in up position, okay? And then hands in your straps, short or long, or handles, depending on what your setup is. And then I like to press out with my legs just a little bit so I can get my hands right over my chest. So fingertips are pointing to the sky. Shoulders open, and I'm not jammed into shoulder locks. And then I'm gonna bring my legs to tabletop, okay? Compress those abs. You can go into a little imprint or shorten those ribs to hips a little bit if that helps you stay out of your back. And then I want you to think, reach your fingertips to the sky, squeeze your shoulder blades together. So the fingertips are moving, the carriage isn't. So it's a little protract, retract. I just want you to find and get those shoulders set on your back. So halfway in between where they feel nice and connected, okay? And then just keep your legs at tabletop. As you exhale, pull your hands down to the mat. Inhale, reach them up. Exhale, pull them in. Inhale, reach them up. If you want a little bit more challenge, take your legs out to the 45. If you feel this in your back, bring your legs back into tabletop. I want 2 more, nice and controlled. You need a timeout, put your feet down for a second. So we're gonna bring this into our tricep press, okay? So again, make sure you're not jammed up against shoulder blocks. Get set in the shoulders, legs up in the air, and then bend your elbows down to the mat for your start position. If you want a little more challenge on the abdominals on any of this, you could come up into your chest lift. I like to keep my head and shoulders down and challenge my spine in a more functional neutral position. So I'm gonna extend my arms and legs both out long, and then bend them in. Reach them out, pull those shoulder blades down on your back. Shoulders are open across the collarbones. You can omit the legs and just move the arms to bend and straighten out those elbows. They're either hovering off the mat or touching. 4, 3 more, 2 more. Last one like this, and bring it in. You can put your feet down for a second. All right, again, make sure you haven't shimmied up to those shoulder blocks. Bring your hands up, and we're gonna make our T press, okay? So bring your legs up in the air. I'm gonna take mine straight up to the sky. You can keep them at tabletop or the 45 if you prefer that. Just wanna do something different. I'm gonna squeeze my heels together, ever so slightly open. Now, I'm gonna pull my hands down to the mat and turn my palms in. Shoulders are open. Then open your arms out to the side and then bring them in. Your arms are just going to about chest height. Don't let them go past or all the way up to your shoulders. Pull the belly in and the hands come down to the side of your waist. So the upper arm is just skimming above that carriage. So you're not scraping it. Your shoulder blades are open and closing on your back. You're pulling those abs in. One more time. You got this. Bend your elbows, lower your legs, your turn. Okay, if your shoulders are up for it, we're gonna do 4 circles each way and we'll be done in this position. Okay, so reach those hands up to the sky, open the shoulders, bring the legs up or out, you pick. Pull your hands down, open towards that T, circle them to the top. Pull them down, T, and to the top. One more time. Pause at the top, reverse. Open to the hips, to the sky. T, hips, sky. You got one more. Remember, tabletop's always your option. Bend your elbows, lower your legs. All right. While we're on our backs, I'm gonna go right into feet in the straps. So, we're gonna grab the straps. You can get your feet in there however you want. You're pulling on the straps and tucking both feet in, or pushing off of the foot bar, putting one foot in the other. And then meet me with your legs on the long diagonal. Or Put your legs on the long diagonal. Zip up that belly. Again, think about compressing the abs and keeping this nice and still. If you feel like you're rocking and rolling that pelvis, doing the Elvis pelvis stance, you're not stabilizing those abs. So I want you to zip your feet together and then keep them parallel. So that means no turnout. Big toe, heel bone, all lined up. Knees are gonna come into about 90 degrees. Not past 90, okay? And then I want you to activate from that backside and reach your legs out long. Can you flex your toes towards your nose as you bend it in? And then press it out. This shouldn't feel super heavy, depending on what tension you chose, but feel that lengthening and resisting. 3 more. Press it out, bend it in. Press it out, bend it in. Now press it out and hold. We're gonna go right into our lift and lower. So back and pelvis still. We're gonna hinge at the hip joint. Like your hips are an axis and your legs are the wheel around it. We're gonna point the toes up towards the ceiling only till you feel that hamstring stretching and keep that tailbone heavy. And then activate abs first. So compress those abdominals a little bit and then lower your legs down. Inhale as you hinge it up. Finding your point where you start to feel a little stretch on the backside and then stabilize back in pelvis, then mobilize your hips. Inhale it up, exhale it down. You're breathing opposite, please just keep breathing. Inhale it up and pull it down. One more time, find your little hamstring stretch and then activate to pull it down. Pause while you're down and then rotate from your hips or femurs. No more than a big fist bump this between your big toes. Your heels stay kissing together. We're gonna bend, the straps come between our knees, flex the feet into our little froggy shape, and then press it back out as you zip it in. Heels stay touching as you bring it in, and then reach it out with control. Bring it in, reach it out. 3 more, bring it in, lengthen and zip it all together. Again, knees track over toe and hip so that there shouldn't be any pain in your knee joints. Bring it in and out. One more time. Hold it out long. Okay, we're gonna go into our circles. So we're gonna hinge the feet up towards the ceiling. Open the width of your reformer or slightly more. Press it down and then close on your long diagonal. So we hinge up to about 90, open to about a 45, press it down, and then close. Lift, open, lower, and close. Those abs need to stay connected. Inhale and exhale. 2 more this direction. Fluid but controlled. Up, out, and around. Pause on your long diagonal. Let's reverse it. So open your legs, reach them up to the sky, close your legs and press down. Really focus on the range of motion that feels good to your hips, no over rotation, and no loss of control. These abdominals have to stay firing. Let's go 2 more. You can do more if it feels good to you. Here's the last one for me. And then bring it down. All right, so from here, let's try a little Peter Pan, or stag as it's also called. We're gonna rotate back out to that little V. I'm gonna bend my left knee and straight, keep my right leg straight. My foot is gonna come into my midline as my straight leg goes out to the side, making that stag, Peter Pan, checkmark shape. And then press it back evenly till you get back to the start position. And then if you can, switch sides. So those thighs are staying in that same alignment with each other. We come back to that center. And then flexing your feet, pull one knee in towards your shoulder, other out to the side. And then zip it back. It's like one leg's coming into your frog shape that we did a minute ago as the other one goes out on a diagonal. So it's not dropping down. It's still staying on that same angle. Press it out. Left leg bends, right leg reaches, even pressure, level hips, press it back. Bring it in. One more time each side. Take it out and together, out and together. And then bend your knees in enough until you can grab your straps. Shorter loops if you have a double set, or just grab somewhere near the hardware of the strap. And then straighten your legs up to the sky. Pull down with your feet, push up with your heels. You can grab on the ropes if you need it a little bit less, right? And just pull and push. Feel the stretch. Ah, that feels good. And then bring it in, and we're gonna take your feet out of the straps, find your way back to the stopper, and then you can get rid of your straps, roll to your side, and get up off of your back. Okay. From here, we're gonna take it into our front arms. I'm gonna go down to one red spring. If you need this nicer, you can use your blue spring or your half spring. You can sit cross-legged or long-legged, or if you prefer to sit up on a sitting box, like your long box, short box, you can go there as well. I'm gonna sit cross-legged. Your goal is neutral in your pelvis, so we're not slumpy, right? If you're slumpy, you need to sit on something. So you can always put your short box on as a stabilizer. Okay, now we're gonna grab those straps. Depending on your setup, either your short or your long ones, whichever reach up, and then shoulders are down, spine is as neutral as you can keep it. So really feel those ribs drawing in and that back and shoulders nice and open. We're gonna start with just our little serving. So we're just gonna start with the elbows by the side and then reach them out straight in front of you. And then bring them back in. So they're staying shoulder width apart, and you're just gonna reach it out and bring it in. You feel like you're moving from your back. Reach it out as you breathe, bring it back in. Two more, just like that. Reach it out, bring it in. Reach it out, and bring it in. All right, we're gonna take this into the hug. So reach your hands forward like you just did, soften your elbows, your fingertips come towards each other. They don't need to touch. We're gonna open, they stay in your peripheral vision, and then move from those back muscles around the shoulder blade. Close and open your circle. It's that hug a tree. You do not need to touch your fingertips, but keep your hands in peripheral vision. Shoulders stay over ribs and over hips, and ears are lined up with all of that as well. Head is long and centered. Don't drop your chin. Lengthen those. Yep, one more time. And then bend your elbows back to that rest position. Okay, from here, I wanna do the salute. So we're gonna take those arms out long, flip your palms down, and hands to your forehead. You get there another way, that's okay. So my elbows are dialed a little bit forward, my shoulders are down in connection on my back. If your shoulders are hiking up to your ears, you're not connected on your back. So keep those shoulder blade muscles down. And then extend your elbows, your hands can separate a little bit, and then bring your fingertips back towards your forehead. Pull your abs in an opposition. You can also have your legs out long. If your knees don't like cross-legged, that works too. Reach it out. You get to hinge ever so slightly in a neutral posture, so no slumping allowed. Last 4, triceps extend. Feel those armpit muscles working. That serratus muscle that's under our scapula, it's our protractor, keeping the shoulder blades away from each other a little bit as we reach out. One more time. Bring it in and release it. Okay, we're gonna be done with those straps for now. I'm gonna have you kneel for a plank. A variation would be to go onto your forearms up against the shoulder blocks and your toes on your platform. If you have a cushion or a towel, something to put under your knees, if you have knee issues, use it. It doesn't have to be this cushion. It could be a towel, something to protect your knees. If you're okay with this kneeling, we're only gonna kneel long enough to get into a plank position. I will give you the second option in a second, so if you wanna opt out of this, you can, okay? So shoulders down, belly in, hover your knees, lengthen out to your plank. And then bring it back in. Option to go to a red and a blue, okay? So here's your first plank option. Shoulders down, feet up against your shoulder blocks, cover your knees, lengthen out to that plank. You can hold that plank, or you can press it out and pull it in. That long stretch. Press it out and pull it in. Press it out, pull it in, press it out, pull it in, bend your knees, and return. All right, so you were only on your knees there for a second, so hopefully that's okay if you do have sensitivities in your knees. Okay, we'll do the other plank variation a little bit later. So we're gonna come back down to one red spring, or you could keep it heavier if you wanted to. I'm gonna put my headrest down, and I'm gonna sit with my legs long. My ankles are gonna cross through the headrest because my legs are long. If you fit without crossing, I kind of do, but I feel a little bit squished in my calf muscles on the side of my leg. You need just a couple finger widths, or like a half a hand width behind your bum, so you don't fall off the back of your carriage, okay? We're gonna grab those hand straps, open up our shoulder blades, zip up our posture. You may bend your knees if that keeps you in a neutral spine, okay? So shoulders down, and then we're gonna pull the hands back. That little plowing chest expansion like move. So we're just pulling the hands back and forward. Bring it forward and pull it back. Bring it forward, pull it back. 2 more times, eye gaze forward, long through the crown of the head. Now hold this one back. Keep that upper arm still. Bend your elbows and straighten your elbows for a little tricep press. My hands are just wider than my reformer, so I don't scrape my knuckles. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. Okay, I'm gonna keep my knees bent. You could have them straight if you wanted. Crisscross your straps. You can choke up onto the ropes if you need more range of motion, but if you sit up nice and tall, I think you'll be okay. This is that higher mid-back row. So I'm gonna keep my palms higher than my knees, and then squeeze my shoulder blades together and pull back. And then reach it back forward. Just a couple more like that, and I'm gonna add on to this. So as you do this, I want your abs in, I want you to think shoulder blades first, and then the elbows come wide. The wrists stay neutral, so don't do a door knocker to try to get further, okay? So now we're gonna add on to that. As you pull back with our right arm, we're gonna look over our right shoulder in that bow and arrow kind of shape, right? And then reach it back, catch your tension, and we're gonna go the other way. So pull it back and look over your shoulder, twisting from the rib cage. It's a pull. And bring it back. And a pull. And bring it back. Pull it back. Channel your inner Robin Hood. Or Katniss if you want the female lead in the Hunger Games. 1 more time each side. Rotate. Rotate. And bring it back. All right, this one's really good for your shoulders. We're gonna pull our elbows back by our side, and then palms are up, thumbs are out to the side, right? So this is that making a little W shape. We're gonna do a little hitchhiker move, or like Fonzie saying A. So I'm gonna rotate from the shoulder blades, squeeze my shoulder blades together on my back, sit nice and tall in my posture. Just 3 more. Feel those little rotator cuff muscles doing some work. 2 more. And last one. And bring it back. All right, uncross those straps. We have 1 more. We're gonna bicep curl with a half relax. I'm gonna wiggle forward. I'm just scooching on my sits bones a little bit, so there's a little more space behind me. My feet are on the edge of my headrest. My palms are up. That'll depend on your height. I am 5'8" with levers here. So we're gonna just roll off of the back of the sits bone. I'm gonna find a little C-curve shape, but not my chin too far forward. My eye gaze is kind of at my pulleys. And I'm gonna bicep curl right here. I'm just gonna bend and straighten my elbows. Keeping my upper arm still in space. Shoulders are wide, so I'm not crunching them in towards each other. Belly pulling in. Back edge sits bones. Find your abdominals. to stabilize as you use those biceps. 3 more. Exhale and inhale. 2 more. And 1 more time. And bring it all the way up. While we're here, we should just do a teaser balance. This is the nicer teaser. You can stay in those short loops or choke up if you need to. So I'm just getting a little closer to my shoulder blocks, so if I would lose my balance, there's space behind me. I'm gonna reach my arms straight in front of me, already in that teaser position, right? And I'm gonna roll off the back of the edge of my sits bones and bring my legs to tabletop. You can keep a foot down. You can straighten your legs. Holding, finding your teaser. Now open your arms a couple inches. 1, find your balance. Just small. 3, you can go back to tabletop if you needed to. 2, 1, foot down, sit all the way up. A little bit about your arms, more about your belly. Okay, put your straps back on their hooks or pegs. And then from here, I want you to get your box. So we're gonna put the long box on. I put my foot bar down. That's optional. So the box is gonna go on the reformer, up against your shoulder blocks. Some reformers, they go over, but most of the time they go up against, typically on long box, okay? We're gonna lay on your belly, hands on the front corner of your box, and then your chest is just at or off the edge, where your whole rib cage and thighs are supported. And then we're gonna grab our straps. I usually choke up on the ropes for this. Now, I want you to think belly button down, pull that pubic bone kind of into the mat. Your inner thighs are kind of reaching to the sky, okay? And you're pulled in there. And then we're gonna think eye gaze at the floor. Pull your hands back to your hips, okay? And then hands come down to the floor. Pull it back. And bring it down. Straight arm back to your hips. And then down to the floor. Pull the belly in like there's a tack under your belly button and you don't want to get stuck. Give me 2 more. Last one. And bring it in. Okay, we're going to tricep kick back it again. So pull your elbows into your spine. You can lift your heart a little bit. Keep the crown of the head reaching long. And then tricep kick back. If this is too heavy, go to your shorter loops instead of ropes. Can you do 4 more? 4, you can if I can. 3, 2, keep those legs active. 1, and then bring it in. All right, I'm gonna move my hands back down to the short loops, okay? And then take my arms out to the side. If I was up on the rope, I would be bigger than a T, and I would be like airplane wing T. Keeping my hands parallel to the ground and my palms down. So those thumbs are almost pointing slightly to the ceiling. I'm gonna pull my hands to the back of my thighs and then out to the side. Heart is open, belly lifted, lava tunnel or tack, and pull it back. Airplane wing arms, T. Kind of like a face planted snow angel. Last one, pull it back, bring it in, and release it. All right, we're done with those straps. So from here, slide off of your box. All right, and then let's just go ahead and sit on our box while we have it. This works pretty nice. Let's grab the strap in front of you. Your legs can dangle over if you can stay still and not wiggle, or you can put your heels down to help you stay anchored, okay? So I'm gonna try it here just because my knees go up because I'm taller. Okay, inside hand grabs that strap, outside hand comes over it. So both hands are holding it, my shoulders are down. And then I'll go ahead and do this because you probably are. And then we're gonna twist away. So this is our oblique twist. Shoulders down. As you exhale, rotate. My hands and sternum, chin, chest, sternum stay lined up. I twist from the rib cage. And I twist. And I twist. 2 more. Twist. And twist. and bring it in. All right. We are going to do those oblique twists on the other side. So go ahead and turn yourself around. My back will be to your camera. Your hand closest to the strap, grabs it. Stand up nice and tall. Bring that hand in line with your sternum, breastbone, shoulders down, and then rotate and twist. If this is too heavy, this could all be done on a half spring instead of a full spring. So could airplane. Depends on your spring tension on your reformer. All the brands and models are a little bit different. Rotate, head and hands and sternum, chest, breastbone, stay together. 2 more, twist it. And bring it back. All right, release that strap. Climb up off of your box, and we'll take the box away. All right, I promised you that other version of plank. So I'm still in 1 spring. So I recommend 1 red spring. Lighter is not nicer, actually, so I wouldn't go heavier. We're gonna come down to forearms with our hands up against the shoulder blocks. Hover your knees, lengthen out to a plank, okay? So now we're in that nice long line, belly pulled in, my tailbone is lengthened, my shoulders are strong, low protracted. And I'm gonna push my carriage away and bring it back in. So it's a little glide of the scapula, which are your shoulder blades, and a little saute motion from those shoulders. I am not looking at my toes. I'm pulling my belly in, and this doesn't need to be big, 2 to 4 inches. 2 more, 1 more, bend your knees, return to your stopper. Okay, from here, we're gonna do a little plank to pike. So you're only on those knees for a second. Get strong in your shoulders, cover the knees, lengthen to your plank, and then keep your feet together, pike your hips up to the sky, and then control it back out. 4 more. Scoop the belly to help pull in. Find plank, don't go past plank. Strong line. Hinge up, press out. Hinge up, squeeze belly in, booty to pull out. Last time, sorry I can't count it, that was 1 more than I said. Then bend your knees and return. All right, step off of there. All right, I had lowered my foot bar. I'm gonna put it back up to that position. You didn't have to put it down at all, but it is a little nicer with it down for that. Arms pulling on the box. Okay, so we're gonna keep this a shorter workout, and we're gonna go right into our final stretch here. If your knee likes a little cushion under it, or you can hover it. Tuck your toes under up against your shoulder block. We're just gonna do our little lunge stretch here, okay? So shoulders are open across collarbones, just a light touch on that foot bar, it's just a stabilizer. And then I want you to bend your front leg, take your back leg away. You're gonna squeeze that back cheek a little bit, pull the belly in, and try to get that quad and hip flexor stretch. So again, that knee can hover if you have sensitive kneecaps. We're just going into a little stretch there. Trying to stretch the leg on the carriage. For me, it's my left right now. Breathe. And then bring it back in. Stand up. We're gonna bend into that little bit of a lunge again. And now straighten your front leg, hinging over, keeping the spine neutral. Don't slump into that back. Pull those abs in. Strong in the shoulders, not really pulling or leaning on the bar, but kind of pushing down into it so we're connected in that whole back line. Get a little hamstring stretch to that front leg. And then bring it back in, okay? You can walk around or crawl across. I'm a crawl acrosser, okay? I'm gonna put my right foot up against that shoulder block. My left foot is in line with the foot bar. And then I'm gonna bend my front knee and go down into that little stretch, okay? So I want you to squeeze the back cheek a little bit, open up that front side, pull the abs in, and then pushing down onto the bar. Not leaning into it, but pushing down so the back body activates. And I'm stretching that hip flexor. Again, hover your knee if you need to. Otherwise, you're feeling a nice stretch through that front of that right thigh, the leg that's on my carriage. So if you did the other leg, it's whichever one's up. Breathe. 1 more time, and then bring it in. From here, we're gonna bend back into that little bit of a lunge, And then straighten that front leg, hinging over a little bit, trying to stretch the back. So think that tailbone goes back. Spine still pretty neutral, shoulders down, pressing into that foot bar. And breathe right there. Try to find that hamstring stretch. And then bring it back in. All right. Sit for me on the side of your carriage, or you can stand up. I would boost my head off in the camera. Reach your hands up to the sky. Big inhale for me. I want you to flex forward a little bit. I'm going to put my hands on my shins. I'm going to pull my belly back and open my back a little bit. And then reach up tall. Hands overhead. One more time. Big inhale, grow tall, tall, tall. And then bring your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers. Press them down and away a little bit. Or you can press your hand into the mat that you're sitting on. Just open your sternum a little bit. Eye gaze goes up toward the ceiling in the wall knee to open up your chest and shoulders. And then bring it in. And there's about a 40-minute workout for you to get you through some reformer stuff. So hopefully you felt good. We got all the directions of the body. Oh, except for side bending. I forgot side bending. I can add it on. You up for it? Let's do mermaid. Sit in your Z-sit. Can't believe I forget that. Hand in front or of your shoulder, not behind, kind of in line. Take your free hand. I know you thought you were done and I'm adding on. It's okay, it's a nice stretch. Still on that one spring. Extend the foot bar hand. Reach up and over, lifting the rib, finding a little rainbow shape of your spine. Bend the elbow on the foot bar. Come back up. We're gonna do that one more time. Extend that elbow. Reach up and over. Inhale, feel that nice stretch. Keep both hips down. If the Z sit, if your knees don't like that, you can sit with your legs dangling over the front like this to get that same stretch. Just think hip bone down as you press out. Okay, so if your knee likes that better, that works. We're gonna do a couple of those on the other side. So you can either sit in the Z sit, which means your shin close to the shoulder blocks goes back, your other legs in front. Hands in line with the shoulder, free hand reaches out. Extend the foot bar elbow. Try to keep both hip bones down. Lift your ribs, side bend over. And then bend the foot bar elbow, come back up top. One more time like that. Reach up and over. We're lifting the rib, breathing into that rib cage. And bring it back in. All right. If you need to stretch again, you can, but we'll count that as a stretch. So, all right, so that was a 41-minute, 42 minutes, somewhere in there. All right, again, thanks for joining me. I hope this helps you feel better and get moving on your reformers. Thanks so much.